Hi everybody, thanks to all of you to be there today. I am Stephan Pineau, I'm the CEO of Training Orchestra. Training Orchestra provides software to manage classroom training, so it's everything about logistics and financial operation, and ILT is still very important. We're going to talk about the new learning technology ecosystem. You know, the time when the learning management system was doing everything is behind us. We have to talk about not the future, but what's happening now. And what's happening now is that you need a system or a technology ecosystem to train learners, whoever they are, wherever they are, and however they learn. So the key objective of our discussion today is to try to identify altogether who are the main players of the learning technology, how they position themselves, and to understand how you can leverage complementary solution because you have an LMS. You're not going to get rid of this LMS because you invest a lot in this LMS, and the idea is to augment your existing technology and also to understand what's the value proposition and the positioning of the training resource management system, meaning the system that manage classroom training. So first of all, the learning technology ecosystem is the fact that we stack, that we have a complementary technology to address in a seamless way all the need of the modern learner and to engage a good way the modern learner. Maybe just to have a quick overview of how we get there. You know, in the year 2000, you know, we had the first LMS, you know, e-learning delivery system. Then in 2010, they moved to some talent suite, so very focused on talent and so the employees. And today, the situation is more than the LMS is more a middleware. The learning management system are now a middleware. And on the front end, you will have the learning experience platform, you know, to better engage, you know, the learners. And on the back end, you will have the training resource management system, you know, more to manage ILT. So those technology complete, you know, the LMS, and the position is more on the back office side for the training resource management system and the front end for the learning experience platform. So you have 5 main drivers today. First of all, ILT is there. You know, it's still 65% of the training in the US, you know, and a lot more, for example, in Europe, it's more than 95%. So ILT, instructor-led training, is still there, and LMS are designed to manage e-learning, you know, not instructor-led training. Second point, which is very important, is that the external audience is more than 53% of the training investment, while LMS are very focused on talent and internal employees, so meaning not external audience like partners, clients, distributors. Third key driver is that there is some population that you can't train with an e-learning, you know. So e-learning is designed only for knowledge worker because you need a computer. You know, you need a system, so LMS are more designed for those knowledge workers, so are more designed for those who have a computer. So the doctor, they don't have, the you know, the blue collars, they don't have, but you still need to train them, and so that's very important. Also, informal learning is crucial. We're not going to talk again about that, and LMS are a little bit immature on that. And you know, we say we like ILT, so classroom training, instructor-led training, but it's too costly. So your LMS can help you to reduce ILT use by doing more e-learning, but they can't help you to reduce the cost of training. And the main mission of the training resource management system is to help you for all the learners to reduce the cost of training. So if we give a global picture, the LMS are focused on knowledge worker, we said, internal employees and not external audience, and they are focused on e-learning. So why you still have a lot of ILT. So here you have the core sweet spot of the learning management system, and you realize that it's really a part of the ecosystem. So having an LMS is important. You have one, and you must absolutely keep your LMS. You must just complement this LMS with some technology, and that's what we're going to talk about. So today, there are some limitations about the delivery with the LMS, with the user experience, with the analytics, and also with the audiences. And the idea is to train the learner, whoever they are. They can be a blue collar, not necessarily a knowledge worker, or they can be a doctor, wherever they are. They can be in different countries, and you have a lot of regulation in France or in Germany or in South Africa. You have a lot of regulation. And however they learn, because they can learn thanks to an e-learning, but it can be also a classroom or a virtual classroom. So the idea is to build and to bring all together those pieces of technology to have a coherent ecosystem to succeed. So what's missing, to be concrete, from the LMS? So on the audience size, what's missing is that it's focused on knowledge worker and internal audience. So that's a system. What is missing is a system to manage the technical workers. Second point, we need a system to manage not only internal audience, but also the clients, partners, suppliers, contractors. We have less and less employees. Let's take Uber. They have nearly no employees, and more external audience, partners, distributors. That's the trend. And also, you have some country-specific audience with highly regulated countries, and you must be able to address all these audiences. So your system must not only address the knowledge internal worker. Second point, on delivery, you have e-learning, but you also have mobile, informal learning, and still 65% of instructor-led training. On the user experience, you need a system to better engage the learner, and on the analytics, you need to be able to calculate the return on investment of training. You need a good reporting to take good decision in real time, and you need information about how you are going to invest next year in the learning, because it's very costly to invest in learning, and you have to prioritize. So you need a system to help you to prioritize, okay? So here is a picture of the new learning technology ecosystem, and what you can see is that you have many technology. So you have technology for instructor-led training, for e-learning, and for on-the-job and coaching. And you have also technology for the learner experience. So, on this side, you will face the learning experience platform. For learning delivery, LMS is more positioned on the learning delivery side. Some also technology provider that will provide training resources, like, for example, TrainUp, which is a training marketplace, or content library, like, for example, Skillsoft. And you have, on the back end, system to manage training operations, okay? And that's where you find the training resource management system. That's where you find the learning record system also. So, on the training operation side, you have more, the training resource management system, and on the learner experience, on the front end, you have more the learning experience platform. And the missing piece, usually, of the ecosystem is everything to manage ILT. So we tried to position, all the technology, not only the technology to do more e-learning, but also the technology to manage classroom training, and you have all those technology that we mentioned here. That's still 65% of the market, though, so this is more than important. And so the main components of this learning architecture, LMS remains central, and you must absolutely keep your LMS. But to complete those LMS, you can use a learning experience platform, and you can use a backend system to manage training operation like Training Orchestra. So what is exactly a training resource management system? So that's a system to optimize the resource use, and training budget that's a system, a back-end system for training professional to manage all the logistics and financial operation. So it's very focused on managing classroom training, scheduling the session, managing the trainers, managing the rooms, tracking the training budget, and this training resource management system can do that for any kind of audience, be it internal audience or external audience, distributors, partners, and can also handle all the financial aspect of training. So here is the scope that is covered by the training resource management system. You remember we were talking about the missing piece of the technology, and here is how the training resource management system cover those different pieces. Plus, so Training Orchestra is the training resource management system, so we will cover all ILT, all the audience, and we will forecast and manage the financial aspect. And to give you a global overview, so it's everything about automatic course scheduling. You have instructors, you have rooms, you have complex scheduling to organize. So that's the idea, is to automate course scheduling. Also, this is to optimize the resource occupancy of the session, to optimize the resource use, so the best planning and the best use of the resources. I would compare that maybe to a system to manage an airline company. In an airline, the system helps them to have the plane full and have a better use of the aircraft. That's the same for managing instructor-led training. It's everything about optimizing resource use, optimizing the occupancy rate, not of the plane, but of the session. So also, it helps you prioritize all your investment. How are you going to invest next year? It's not only the individual needs. It's also the strategic project. It's also the people that you are going to recruit and you're going to train them next year. The fourth point is to control your budget, because you have a budget, a strict budget, less and less budget, that's what we hear, and you have to control this budget to ensure that you will respect the budget. And for that, you need advanced business analytics, to be sure that you understand clearly what's happening. So you need some very precise data, and you are training more and more external audience, like for example clients, and some of you have for-profit activity or non-profit activity, but they will charge back their clients or their distributors or their partners or their contractors. So there is the monetization of the training operation, and it's a good way also to optimize your training budget. So how can you do that? Because we were saying that you would keep your learning management system. So the first idea is to assess the need. Where are you? What do you need? What are the goals? What do you expect? Do you manage internal audience, external audience? What's the percentage of ILT, of classroom training you're organizing? How many trainers do you have? What do you expect? Do you want to reduce your budget, or do you want to do more with the same budget? It's so easy to do it, but it has to be clearly defined. Then you have to define a mapping of the technology, where you are, what you already have, and where it's working, and where you feel some pain points and you need the technology to complete this pain point. And then, of course, to align the budget, do you keep, if you keep your learning management system, do you renegotiate the license? Don't ditch it, okay? Keep it. And then only after, when you're clear about all that, to engage the vendors. So maybe, as you understand, Training Orchestra is the world leader of the system to manage ILT, to manage training operation. We're here for more than 15 years. We manage more than $5 billion of budget each year, and we have 5 million users and more than 500 clients. So we have very large clients like PwC, like New York Life or General Motors that are using our system. We're in more than 16 countries, so a little bit all over the world. And maybe to give you a global overview of what we said today, global takeaway. So first of all, the LMS role is changing. Everybody has to be aware of the fact that the LMS scope is focused on e-learning and internal knowledge worker. First idea. The second idea is the position of the LMS in the infrastructure. It's that it's more a middleware. You know, you can launch e-learning content. On the front end, you will have more the learning experience platform, and on the back end, you will have the training resource management system. And the training resource management system is filling major gaps that you have. First of all, you can, thanks to this system, integrate all the learners, internal and external, and that's the trend, to have less and less employees and more outside the company. Second point, you can optimize all resources for instructor-led training, and you can focus on reducing your training investment. Well, thanks all of you for being there with us today, and have a very nice day.